Goking!
Hey, Satoking I!
Yo!
Hey!
Put your hands up!
Here we go!
Yo! 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 오늘도 쇼부다 Goking!
Hey, hey, hey! 랍부다 쇼부다 Satoking! Hey everyone, it's Mark. This is my recap for Pokémon Journeys episode 97, Slowking, a curiously great encounter. This was the 1182nd episode of the Pokemon anime, and yeah, the main headline from this episode was that Ash and Goh got possessed by Slowking and had a rap battle. I don't even know what else there is to say. The episode starts with a very ominous island floating towards Slowpoke Island. It looks like some Galarian forms are coming to make some friends. Ash and Goh just so happen to be visiting this island again, I guess because Goh wants to catch himself a Slowpoke. It is worth noting that Ash and Goh were the only two human characters in this episode. That's the record for the fewest humans in any Journeys episode, but it doesn't hold the all-time record, as Sun and Moon episode 126 only had one human character make a physical appearance, that being Ash, of course. Everyone decides that it's nap time, but Goh didn't come here to sleep. He came here to catch a Slowpoke, and that's exactly what he does. Okay, cool. Episode's over, right? Well, I guess not, because the floating island just made contact with Slowpoke Island, and now some Galarian Slowpoke are here to say hello. What happens next is this odd scene where the Slowpoke taste each other's tails. I mean, I guess this is kind of similar to when two dogs meet and start sniffing each other. Anyways, when the regular Slowpoke has a taste of the Galarian Slowpoke's tail, its mouth lights up because how spicy the taste is. Garuki, being the idiot that it is, immediately has a taste itself, which, of course, burns its mouth. This ridiculousness is cut off by Slowbro, who is trying to find something to eat. After failing to knock some food down from this tree, a Galarian Slowbro comes along, and by the time it slowly helped get the food down, the other Slowbro had already decided to walk away. Okay. The first half of this episode was really slow-paced. Like, we're already 7 minutes into the episode, even though I feel like next to nothing is happening here. That's about to change, though, as a Galarian Slowking appears to shake things up. But when it brings over a pile of food, the non-Galarian Pokemon have already hightailed it out of there. Ash and Goh decided to follow the Galarian Pokemon, but once they cross over into their territory, the Galarian Slowking squares up to Grookey, which absolutely petrifies it. I don't really know why. I feel like if this was any other Pokemon, Grookey would have just jumped up onto its head and started bashing it with its branch. Once things calm down, Ash gets the sense that the Slowking wants them to follow it, and it leads them back to where they keep all of their food, and it tries to share some Galarica seeds. Now, I think we all expected what was about to happen next. The food is crazy spicy, and no one can handle all that heat. Despite the initial spiciness, they do like the Galarica seeds, and they figure out that the Galarian Slowking must have been trying to share its food earlier in order to make friends with the other Slowpoke. Ash says that he is willing to help them make friends, and this is all the Galarian Slowking needs to hear. It sends its Shelter Crown up into the air, and Goh's reaction to this was pretty funny. He wanted no part of an episode 26 repeat. Now that Galarian Satoking is upon us, he starts rapping everything he says, and if this isn't the most Luap screenshot I've ever seen in Pokemon Journeys, I don't know what is. Goh and Pikachu are totally over this development, but it was pretty funny that Grookey was loving the new Ash. It makes sense since Grookey wasn't around the last time that this happened. Alright, let's hurry up and skip ahead a little bit so we can get to the good part. The noodles-loving Slowking from episode 26 has finally decided to show up, and uh-oh, here comes Ash. It's time for the face-off we've all been waiting for. I feel like this small part right here sums up how most people are probably feeling about the episode. Either they are fired up and totally into this ridiculousness like Ash is, or they are totally over it like Pikachu is. At this point, I was more on Pikachu's side, but that might be about to change. That's because it's finally time. Ash challenges Goh to a rap battle, and the noodles-loving Slowking springs into action, sending its Shelter Crown into the air, and Goking has finally arrived. And as for what happens next, I mean, how do I even recap what is happening here? Ash's rap is mostly just repeating the word yo a lot while talking about curry, while Goh's lyrical genius revolves around udon, the type of noodles that Slowking is always eating. While the rapping in this rap battle is questionable at best, the battle part is way more evident as they actually send some type of psychic attacks at one another. I honestly can't break this down beat by beat. I mean, I'm assuming most of you have watched this ridiculousness already, but if you haven't, just go watch this scene. It's like 2 minutes long and so weird. If I had to describe it using a random clip from the original series, I would definitely choose this one.
Ash, are you going going crazy?
The answer is yes.
The lunacy comes to an end when their curry and udon come together to create this golden pot of curry udon, and guess what? Everybody loves it. Goh even says this must be straight out of some god's pantry. I like that compliment. It looks like this magical creation has succeeded in bringing together the two groups of Slowpoke, and after everyone has had their fill of curry udon, the Slowking reclaim their crowns, and we cut to the end of the episode, where after the Galarian Slowking helps plant a tree full of Galarica seeds on Slowpoke Island, the noodles-loving Slowking gives it one of its shiniest bowls. What a thoughtful gift. And with that, it's time for the floating island to take off once again, and the Galarian Pokemon say goodbye to their new friends and head off to wherever their next destination may be. I'm giving this episode a 6 out of 10 rating. What a weird episode. By the end of it, I can't say I did not enjoy the episode, but I didn't love it or anything, so I guess I'm just gonna land on a 6 rating. I mentioned it earlier in this video, I just thought the first half, if not the first 2/3 of this episode, was incredibly slow. I mean, I get it, they were on Slowpoke Island and all of the Slowpoke act really slowly. I don't know, it just didn't really vibe with me, I guess. I did enjoy the reggae insert song in the first part of the episode, but outside of that, I thought things were pretty uneventful up until the rap battle started, and if the episode had slowly built its way up to something incredible, then that would have been pretty good pacing. But I thought it built its way up to an alright scene. I mean, I did find the rap battle funny, but it didn't blow me away or anything. I think watching this episode really hammers home why the Slowking bit in episode 26 was part of a 2-for-1 special. There was enough good content here for like half an episode, but I think trying to stretch this plot out into an entire episode itself, not that great. I did like it though, so even if I sound like I'm being critical of it, I am still giving it a 6 out of 10, which is technically a below average episode of Journeys if we're going off my past ratings, but that doesn't mean I didn't like this episode, it just means that there has been a whole lot better so far in this series. One more quick note about this episode, Goh catching this Slowpoke brings his current total up to 100 Pokemon that he owns. He's released and traded some along the way, but as of this moment, he currently owns 100 Pokemon. Well, unless he's been catching any more off screen that we don't know of yet. On to the preview of the next episode. I think this will be the last episode that we saw in that special preview trailer back at the end of last year. You know, the one where a ton of people freaked out that Chloe was going to become a coordinator or performer, and I said there was no chance of that happening. Yeah, of course, I was right. No shock there. Anyways, as much as I love to say I told you so, let's get back to this preview, and it looks like a fairly meh episode in all honesty. They try to make this trip to the circus seem as dramatic as possible. I don't know, let's just wait and see what happens next week. Well, that's all the Pokemon Journeys discussion I really have this week. I feel like I have some time to kill though, so I won't just abruptly end the video as fast as possible. When I first heard of a floating island being in this episode, it immediately made me think back to when I traveled to Los Uros in Peru a few years ago. These are literally floating islands that are man-made mixtures of basically reeds and mud that float atop Lake Titicaca in Peru. Lake Titicaca, funny name, I know, heard that one plenty of times before. It is weird for me looking at these pictures though, like I just pulled these off Google Images, but I totally remember climbing up into that exact crow's nest tower. It feels like it was just yesterday. Most people would probably call Machu Picchu the bigger highlight in Peru, but I don't know. I went there too, and it was probably on par with Lake Titicaca if I'm being honest, but maybe my experience is just swaying my opinion of the actual locations. If you want to hear more random stories about the wild and crazy life of Elite Trainer Mark, go ahead and ask me anything over in my Discord server. It's a fun place to be, and I am super active over there, so come on and say hello. And maybe if there's another slow episode of the anime in the future, I'll have another edition of ETM Storytime, who knows. But for now, thank you all so much for watching this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and all the rest of it, and I'll see you guys next time.